Oh, I'm really? Okay. In 9 minutes, you can put your clothes in the dryer and watch the threads of yourself spin round and round. In 9 minutes, you can run to the fields just in time to catch the sun melting the ground and the smokes of clouds lighting up the things you keep meaning to say. In 9 minutes, you can wash the holy colors out of your hair, do a duet performance for the stranger on the bus, run through Dubai airport security bare feet, miss the train, and wash down the feeling of being on the other side of the world with a cheesecake that you and your best friend keep for these moments. In 9 minutes, you can solve world problems, or at least high-level maths questions, write half a peer support application letter, do a closing ceremony speech for IPC, and learn that all this was not how it was supposed to be. In 9 minutes, you can lose yourself trying to say everything, think of everything, be everything, do everything, care about everything, and in the next 9, find yourself in the most unexpected places, in the most unexpected people. These are what 9 minutes at a UWC feels like. So I was born in England, but I lived the first part of my life in India. I still remember the monkeys that were stealing our clothes from the washing line and the inherent poverty that surrounded our daily lives. Our roof, it had no ceiling, so every time it would rain, it would just fill up. We had a pump for our water, and every couple of weeks the electricity would go on and off. When we moved to New Zealand, the issues that India faced only became more and more apparent with every return journey we made. The last time I went back was 3 years ago. I still remember the face of a child as she pressed her hand against mine, asking for money. I remember looking up to the sky and being so disappointed because I couldn't see the color of it. There was too much pollution. I remember being shocked at the sight of an 8-story mall in front of one of the poorest slums I'd seen around. I remember attempting to reconcile being Indian but living in New Zealand. What was my culture, my identity? I still cannot grasp. But growing up in New Zealand, I've come to realize has been incredibly isolating. We were removed in every sense, not only in terms of geographically, but also in terms of the issues the nation was facing. The refugee crisis isn't as prominent as it is here in Europe, but I got to witness other issues from the perspective of Down Under. I witnessed the ongoing land conflict between the indigenous people Māori and the Pākehā or European settlers. I witnessed the work of Youth Climate Action Group, Generation Waking Up, and was struck by the vast chasm between public rhetoric, that is to say the sensationalism of this country as being clean and green, and the political inaction on urgent issues such as climate change, in favor of more globalization, liberalization, and privatization. And this struck me. I realized that we measured a nation's health in terms of its output. We measured individuals' success in terms of their status, net worth, and income. But as environmental scientist David Orr puts, this world does not need more successful people. It desperately needs more restorers, lovers, healers of all kind. It needs people to live well within their place. It needs people with a moral courage willing to join the fight to make this world habitable and humane. And with that, I decided to apply to UWC. My first phone call that I got that said I was accepted was 9 minutes long. And I had to begin somewhere. And it really does. It begins with us in the here and now. We are living at one of the greatest tipping points in history. As global crises emerge, social inequality grows in leaps and bounds, and economic models crash. And the sheer magnitude of the environmental issues we are facing becomes overwhelming. With the global population growing at rates parallel to the rate resources are being depleted, there's a need for young people to start waking up and take mutual responsibility for what is going on. And with these social, environmental, and economical issues all hanging in a delicate balance, we are struggling to find the equilibrium point where all three areas are in harmony, where our relationship with each other, with different countries, is in harmony. Isolationism ceases to exist, and the extent of our globalization extends to the fact that some of our domestic problems may be caused on the other side of the world. We are connected, and we are internationalists. And if we are to create a just, sustainable, and peaceful world, then this is what we need, to transcend our race, our culture, our religion, and our class in order to live from a global perspective. This is what being at a UWC demands. These issues are no longer something so far removed, and being from New Zealand, I couldn't imagine just how far removed I was. Now, I sit in my high levels maths class as Masoud, a Turkish boy, expresses his sorrow and frustration at the bombings that are happening back home. My roommate Shadin shares with me one of the latest news videos from Morocco. They've recently sentenced a homosexual couple to prison, and the public is supporting those that physically assaulted them. I'm on the streets of Paris during October break, talking with a family of refugees, as they tell me their quest to make it to Germany. You cannot help but take part in these discussions, and you cannot help but be moved by them. This is what I've come to understand, that my UWC experience is shaped by the stories we share with each other, the shared frustrations, and the shared drive to do something about it. It is a relentless optimism in the face of point-blank reality. It is the 4 days of no sleep and the countless months of preparation, challenging and pushing my limits as I, alongside a team of others, organize the International Peace Conference. But this place isn't the ideal utopia you think it to be. The people aren't perfect, and the community and values are at times disappointingly lacking. There have been countless times where I've wondered how I should get through whatever difficulty I was facing. There have been the most bleakest and most disappointing of moments as well. Yet at the same time, this place holds us hope. This promise of what could be, of what we could be, of what this place could be. And it was in the people around me that I finally felt a sense of warmth and security. So this is what I know now. That there is nothing more moving than the conversations you have at 2 a.m. or the silences you sit in trying to think things through. There's nothing more transformational than lying on the streets with your second years on their last night, watching the stars, or at least pretending to, seeing as Maastricht is always cloudy. In 9 minutes, you can watch the world go round and round, and wonder how on earth you're ever going to stop it enough to make any sort of change. And in the next 9, you can decide just to do that. Welcome to UWC.